Hey everyone, this is Jesse Van, and I know this video is going to be a little different from the other ones that I have on my page, but I didn't feel like making another YouTube channel to put this on, so we're just going to go with this. Okay, but here's the issue. My TV is not working, okay, and it will try to turn on. It actually started last night. I was trying to turn on the TV. And it just wouldn't turn on. And then I finally got it to turn on by going up to the actual TV and pressing the power button on the side, and it came on and was trying to shut off, but it finally did come on. And then this morning I tried to turn it on again, and now it won't come on at all. And when I press the TV button to turn it on, like you can see, the red light will go off like it's trying to come on, but it just comes right back on. So I looked online, and what I've seen is that a lot of people who have the Samsungs have been having a problem with this. So I got a couple of tips on there of actually how to fix it, and I'm hoping that it's the capacitor that's just blown. So I'm going to take the TV apart and check and make sure if it's the capacitor. And if it is, then I'm just going to go ahead and replace it. And I'll film it, and I'll put it online so that if anyone else needs any help doing the same thing, then they can look at mine and see how I did it. And hopefully that's it, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and put it, take the TV down, and we'll go from there. Okay. Okay, I have the TV down, and I have a 40-inch Samsung LCD. Okay, so on mine, this is my model number. I don't know if you can see that well. Okay, but on mine I have 17 screws, and you'll see the screws. The screws are obvious as you go along the outside. You'll see where they are. If you have a bigger one, then you'll have a few more screws. But I don't have the mounting screws in there. If you have it mounted, then you have the mounting screws up there, but I don't. So you just want to make sure you also get this one that's kind of hidden, that's in where the connections are. But just make sure you get them all out, and I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, I have everything removed, and just make sure you group your screws so you'll know where they go. I have the ones that go up at the top over there in the top, the ones on the left, the ones on the right. Okay, so let's see. You see, I'm not sure if you can tell on this one, but this one right here is raised a little. That's the capacitor that's raised, and this one right here looks like it's raised a little bit also. I don't know if you can see the difference on these other ones. These other ones are pretty flat. They're just straight across, but this one has a little raise on it. So hopefully that's the problem. I don't see any other ones in here that are raised, so I'm going to go ahead and get those taken out and replace them. First, what you want to do is make sure you unplug all of the connectors. So just go through, and you can kind of keep note of where they go, but they only go, it looks like they only go in one spot, so you shouldn't have an issue with replacing them. Just take all of these out. Okay, and I'm trying to do this with one hand and do everything else with the other one, so it's a little bit difficult. Okay, so from this point you just take out the screws, and it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws, and I'll go ahead and get those taken out. And if I didn't mention it before, all of them are Phillips head screws. Okay, so you need a Phillips head screwdriver. And let me go ahead and get these taken out, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have everything out, and let's see if I can zoom in so you can see which ones I'm actually going to be working with. Let's see if you can see that. Actually, let me see if I can get some more light on here. Use my other phone. Use some light. Okay. Hopefully you can see that. I'm going to be working with CM 852 and CM 853. That's not doing well. Okay. So CM 852 and CM 853. And the only reason I show you that is because when you turn it over on the other side, you want to make sure you look for the same ones. Okay. One way you can do it is if you just put your finger on the one that you're working with and put your thumb on the back side, you can kind of get an idea of where it's at. But it should be labeled, so you should be able to just turn it over and find. See if I can zoom now. 852 and 853, which is right here. And I'm going to mark it with my Sharpie just so I know for sure where it's at. 852 right there. And 853 is right here. Okay, so I have those two marked so that I know. Because you also want to make sure that you're putting the right polarity on there, whether it's negative or positive. But that also shows on there also. You can't. I don't think you can see it, but it's like really little. But it shows that the positive is this one right here, and the positive on the other one is right here. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and break the solder on these, and then I'll be right back. Well, actually, what I'll try to do is see if I can record it while I'm doing it. If I can't, then I'll just come back. Okay. I have everything out. You can see there are the holes that were left from taking the capacitors out. You can see what they look like. See if you can see a little bit better the rays in there. Okay, but all I use is my soldering iron and the my desoldering bulb, and I just set it to the side of it and heat it up, and then put the bulb next to it and squeeze it and take the solder off. And that's it. Once you get that cleared out, I cleaned it up a little bit with some alcohol, isopropyl, and that's it. I'm going to go ahead and put the new one in. Hold on, let me pause it just a moment. Let me get the new capacitor. Okay, this is the new capacitor. You can see this is a 35 volt. The original one that came out of the TV was a 10 volt. That's not really going to make that big of a difference, the 35 from the 10. The one thing you do want to make sure you get correct is the 1000 microfarads. You want to make sure those are correct. This one, the store that I went to didn't have the ones that operate up to 105 degrees Celsius. So I got a 85 degrees Celsius, which it shouldn't be that big of a deal unless the TV starts to overheat. I have it in an area where it gets a lot of ventilation, so it shouldn't be a big deal. It may shorten the lifespan of that capacitor, but it'll do for now. The other one didn't last long anyway. It was less than 2 years before that one blew out. So you want to make sure you'll see the differences in the length. The smallest one is going to be your negative. The long one is the positive. So when you put it back into the board, you want to make sure that you put it. You want to make sure you put it where the positive. Just put them in the correct spot. Okay. and you'll see on here the one on my board, the one that's shaded white. That's the negative. The other one is the positive. So you just make sure you put them in the correct spot. Okay. Let me pause it just a moment, and I'll put them in, and then I'll lay it down so you can see the other side. Okay. Okay. I have them in there. You can see they're a little bigger, so it's a little bit more of a tighter fit, but that'll be okay. On the back side here, you see the cable sticking out. What you want to do is make sure they're tight, and then just bend it over to hold it in place. Make sure these are tight. Bend it over. Okay, and then from that point, all you're doing at this point is you're going to grab your soldering iron and your solder, and you put it on there. And I've already tried to do this, to solder it and have it filming at the same time, and it's not going to work. So I'm going to just go ahead and pause this and solder it, and then I'll come back and show you the finished product. But basically, all you want to do is you just touch it right there, touch your solder to there, and make sure you get a good connection, and make sure it's filled good. You don't need to overdo it. And then once you're done, well, I'll come back and show you clipping off the ends. But okay, I'm going to pause it. Okay, I have them on there. You can see there they are right there. I have the solder on there. And then you just want to clip it off. Let me clip this one first. Just want to get them a little lower. You know, go through and clip it again. Okay, I got everything completed. I just cleaned back around it with some more alcohol, and I'm going to go ahead and put everything back in. Let me bring this over. Okay, let me switch hands. Okay. Put that back in place. And I'm just going to grab my screws and I'll put them back in here, and I'll come right back to you. Okay, I have it back in, and I'm just going to plug the cables back in here. Okay, have those back in, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the case back on. Switch hands again. Okay. Alright, we're almost done, everyone. Only thing we have left is to go ahead and put these screws back in here, and then we'll test it and see if that was actually what was wrong with it. I hope it was. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put the screws back in here, and I'll be right back. To this scene again, and all the screws have been placed back in there, and I'm just going to plug it up, and we'll both see at the same time if it's working. Okay. Okay, this is the final test. We're going to check and make sure that it's working. Hopefully it is. Okay, so let me grab my trusty AT&T U-verse remote. And let's see. Oh, there is the Samsung sound. Looks like we're working.
Montgomery knows guys. I got
yeah,
good news today.
We are good.
Tony, because defensively, only 10 trips, but 7 of those trips was
so,
touchdown. That's not going to win you championship.
Turn it back off.
An offensive.
Make sure we can turn it off and turn it back on, because that was the issue this morning. I got it on, but then I couldn't turn it back on when after I turned it off last night. Sounds like we're good. Okay, so let me turn it back off. Okay, so looks like we figured out the problem. It was the capacitor, and we got them both replaced. And I hope this helps someone. I'm happy that you stayed with me and throughout the entire thing. And sorry about the noise that you had to hear from my daughter, who thinks she's the next rock star, and her little friend out there. But we got everything working. Everything that I needed, you can get from Radio Shack or any other electronic store in your area, stuff like that. All you need is a soldering iron, some solder, obviously, something to take the solder off, like say maybe the desoldering bulb, or they have a desoldering braid that you can get, and Phillips head screwdriver. That's really about it, other than maybe like some needle nose pliers or something like that, something to grab it if you're in a close space, and something to cut your wire. Okay, but that's really it. Again, I thank everyone for sticking with me throughout this, and I have my TV back. But anybody who needs a Samsung, anybody who needs this, if you have a Samsung TV, then eventually you may have to use this. I do have another Samsung LCD in my daughter's room, so at least I know now that in about 2 years it may go out, and I know how to fix it. So I hope this helps someone, and you all have a great day and a better tomorrow.